Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to kind of get away from the palette palooza just for a day, and I decided to use my Kat Von D Monarch palette. Haven't used this in a little while. It's gorgeous. So I decided maybe that I would kind of whip it out and create a look with it. This is usually the look that I do when I use this palette. It's just very warm, very day appropriate, and I love it. It makes blue eyes pop, and it's gorgeous. So I decided to use that today. So if you're interested in getting this eye look, then just stay tuned. Okay, so like always, I'm going to take my MAC Painterly paint pot, and I'm going to be applying that from my upper lash line all the way to the brow bone. And I like to use my finger while doing this as opposed to a brush because I feel like it melts the product into my lid a little bit better. Now I'm going to be going in with a fluffy angled brush and my Monarch palette from Kat Von D, and I'm going to pick up the shade Entomology, which is a really light, creamy, kind of yellow ivory color, and I'm applying that right under my brow bone as my highlight. Then I'm going to take a really fluffy brush and go in with the color Vanish. And for some reason, I didn't get a close-up of this color, but it's just a very neutral light brown color. And I'm putting that in my crease and kind of blending it in with that brow bone color. This makes an amazing transition color. Next, I'm going in with a small, fluffy, angled brush, and I'm going to pick up the color Wrath from the Kat Von D Monarch palette. This is a gorgeous, like, red, burnt orange shade. It's got a little bit of gold micro shimmer in it, and I'm applying that on the outer 1/3 of my lid. I'm also blending that about halfway into my crease. As you can see, I kind of swipe the color onto the lid, and then I flip my brush upside down and blend it into the crease. And I just slowly build up the intensity of that color because this is one that you can really get heavy-handed with and carried away with really easily, and then it's really hard to blend away. Going back in with that big fluffy brush and no additional product and just blending out any harsh lines. And then I'm taking a duo fiber brush, and it's kind of long and pretty precise, and I'm taking a little bit more of that Wrath color and putting it into the crease. I want this color to show up when we put the dark colors in the outer corner, and this just really diffuses the color, making sure it's not too harsh. Then I'm going to take a really small detailed brush and pick up the color Shadow Box from the Monarch palette, and this is a matte chocolate brown, really dark, and I'm going to put that in the outer V. This is really going to give the eyes definition and add just a tiny bit of drama, but not too much where it's unwearable for daytime. And as you can see, I take that color from the lash line into the crease and then pull it over, creating an actual like V color or upside down triangle shape. And then I go back in with that fluffy angled brush that has the Wrath on it and just blend it out. Then I'm going to go in with Josie Moran's Coconut Watercolor Eyeshadow in the color Rio de Rose Gold. This is a beautiful rose gold, very metallic shade. I'm using this as a base, although you could use this and not top it with any eyeshadow. But I first apply it to the inner 2/3 of my lid with the doe foot applicator, and then I go back with my finger and kind of tap over it. That way it doesn't have that harsh line and let shadow stick in a harsh kind of way. It's really blended out so that the shadow blends nicely over it. Then I take my Kirkland makeup remover wipe and a flat shader brush and wet the brush onto that. And I pick up the color Killing Jar from my Monarch palette. And this is a beautiful rose gold with a lot of gold shimmer in it. And by wetting down the brush, you really bring out the metallic sheen that this color has to offer. And I'm applying this to the center third of my lid. And then I'm going to go in with the color Telepathy in that same flat shader brush and apply this to the inner 1/3 of my lid. This is a really unique color. It's almost like a light silver pewter with a gold like duochrome or sheen to it. And as I'm applying that, I'm kind of blending in between the Telepathy color and the Killing Jar color to make sure there isn't a like starting and stopping point between the two colors. They just flow seamlessly into one another. And then I take my finger, I pick up a little bit of that color and just dab it on the inner corner just to add some intensity. Then I'm going to go back in and take a little more of that shadow box color on that really tiny detailed brush and just darken up the outer V. And then I'm going to go back in with that dual fiber brush and just kind of blend out that outer V and that crease color. I am picking up just a tiny bit more color just so that orangey red is really intense and you can see it even when my eyes are open. And then I'm taking that big fluffy brush with no additional product and just blending out the edges of everything. Now I'm cleaning up the lower lash line with that makeup wipe. And I'm going to take a fluffy pencil brush and go in with the color Wrath. And I'm going to take that color underneath my lash line from outer corner almost to the very inner corner. And I'm going to blend this pretty far down so that it's nice and smoky and blown out and not too precise. I make sure to tap the brush off so that I don't get any fallout since my concealer and foundation are already done. Then I'm going to go in with a really fine detailed brush and take the color Summerfly. This is like an old gold or antique gold shade that has a lot of shimmer to it. And I'm applying this right beneath where I put the color Wrath. And because it is really shimmery, it helps blend in between Wrath and my concealer. If you use a matte shade to blend out your lash line, it can sometimes turn even more harsh than blended. So I like to sometimes use a shimmery color just to make sure that everything's more of like a soft focus effect. Then I'm going to take my finger and dip into Entomology, which was that first color that we used, and place that on the inner corner. I feel like this look has enough shimmer in it, especially on the eyelids, that you can get away with using a matte highlight. But if you want to go in with that telepathy color, you can, to add some more shimmer. Then I'm going to take a small flat shader brush and apply that right under the brow bone, just to brighten up that area. And that's it, guys. That's the look with mascara. Like I said, this is one of my favorite looks to use with this palette, or do with this palette. I think it looks gorgeous on blue eyes, but definitely will be stunning on any eye color. And this is still daytime wearable, at least it is for me. But if you want some more drama, just take that black shade in the outer corner. So for foundation, I use, well, actually, let's start with primer. So for primer, I use my Rimmel Fix and Perfect 002 primer and my NYX Angel Veil primer. Love this stuff. And then for foundation, I use CoverGirl's Ready Set Gorgeous in 105. And I've really been liking this foundation. It's a little too matte for me, so I kind of thin it out with a lighter foundation or a luminizer. But if I do that, I really, really like it. And then for concealers, I use my NARS Creamy Concealer in Light Chantilly. And I use my MAC Prolong Wear Concealer in NW15. Love these two concealers. If I had to choose one, I would choose my MAC Prolong Wear though. To set that, I use my e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. And to set my face, I use my Tarte Smooth Operator Micronized Clay Finishing Powder with PM20. I'm not sure what PM20 is, but apparently it's in that. So that just looks like that. It's just a translucent powder. For bronzer, I used my Tarte Park Ave Princess Amazonian Clay Bronzer. I actually got this in a 500 point perk, and it's a pretty good sized bronzer. So that's what that looks like. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it, so it just gives the skin a really nice glow. For contour, I used my Wet n Wild bronzer, Color Icon bronzer in Bronze Goddess. Unfortunately, I think this is discontinued, which is a whole bunch of hoopla. For blush, I used my Cargo Tonga blush. It's kind of a neutral mauve-y pink. Doesn't really stand out a ton on your cheeks, but it just gives enough color to make you look alive, and I think that it looks really nice with this really warm orangey kind of smoky eye. For highlighter, I used my Hourglass Ambient Light palette, and I used the center shade right here, which is Incandescent Light. This one is limited edition, and it's only for this palette. I kind of wish they would make this one in full size because it's a really nice highlighter, especially for people who have fairer skin. For mascara, this coloring, this lighting. For mascara, I used my IT Cosmetics Tightline Full Lash 3-in-1 mascara, and I applied that just at the base of my lashes. And then I tried out the Tarte Gifted mascara. I really, really like this. I feel like this is one high-end mascara that I might splurge on, which kind of makes me mad because it's probably really expensive. So we'll see. Maybe for a stocking stuffer or something, I'll get it. And then I use on my brows, I use my Milani Brow Tint Pen in Natural Taupe and my Maybelline Define Brow in Dark Blonde. And lastly, for lips, I use my Bite Beauty lipstick in Musk. And it's one of the little duo ones that was for the holidays. And that's what that looks like. It's kind of like a 90s, little bit brown nude color. I really like it. And I really like the formula of these. I can kind of see what all the hype is about. So I might be buying some more. Alright guys, so that's it. That was the eye look, and then I showed you all my face products. I hope you enjoyed this look. I really like it. Let me know if you recreate it. Let me know if you have any requests. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!